to be moderator for this event. We will take questions at the end. I will ask everybody to please hold your questions until after everybody who's on the agenda to speak has spoken. And if you have a question that is directed to a specific person or agency, please just note who your question is for. Our first speaker today is going to be Louis Morant, Georgetown County Council Chairman.
Thank you, Jackie. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. We thank our other members of Georgetown County Council for being here also. It has now been 1 week since the announcement of the International Paper Mill closure left our community in shock. The decision by IP was a corporate decision and did not involve Georgetown County. The property IP sits on is owned by IP and not the county. IP has the right to make decisions regarding its company, just like any other company. For nearly 90 years, this facility has been a pillar in Georgetown County, providing jobs, supporting local businesses, and becoming an integral part of the lives of so many families here. Today, our hearts go out to the nearly 700 employees and approximately 200 contractors who will be directly impacted, along with countless others who will feel this loss indirectly. However, in the face of this adversity, I stand here encouraged by the resilience and unity of our community. Since learning of the closure, Georgetown County, City of Georgetown, SC Works, and a strong coalition of local, regional, and state partners have come together with a single goal: to support the people affected and provide a way forward. We are prioritizing job placement and skill development to help these families remain here, thrive here, and continue being part of our Georgetown County family. Over the coming days, weeks, and months, we will implement a coordinated support plan to ease this transition. Already, agencies are on site at the mill to assist employees with resume writing, interview preparation, and retraining opportunities. This will lead into a job fair on November 21st and 22nd at Howard Center, bringing together employers who are ready to offer new positions to those impacted. The deadline for employers to sign up for the job fair is November 15th. Organizations will also work with displaced employees to help them understand how their skills may translate to other industries, such as healthcare, education, and technology. Our focus now is on providing pathways to stable employment, ideally within our county, so these families can continue calling Georgetown home. There will be other challenges to face and decisions to make further down the road. But our first priority is the people who are struggling right now with uncertain futures as we enter the holiday season. The journey forward won't be easy, and we know the road to recovery will take time. But I am confident that Georgetown County will emerge stronger. We are resilient, and we will keep supporting each other, lifting up those impacted and working together toward a brighter future for all. This is a different kind of storm than we are used to, but we will weather it as we have so many others and look for the opportunities against the hardship. Standing with me today are other county partners who will be assisting in charting our path forward. Thank you again, and you will now hear from them.
Our next speaker will be Isla Dyer, Workforce Development Director at Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments.
Good afternoon. My name is Isla Dyer, and I work with Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments and serve as the Workforce Development Director for the region. And today I'm going to provide you with an overview of the ongoing support and services, as well as events planned to reach all IP employees, IP contracted workers, and any other person who has been or will be impacted by the closure of the mill here in Georgetown. So the initial response began this week when the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce deployed a rapid response team on site at IP to conduct informational meetings with International Paper employees. This rapid response team, made up of 5 staff members, all from South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, SC Works, and Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments, are conducting 18 separate informational sessions to review and explain the unemployment insurance benefits, reemployment services, and retraining programs. Specifically, these sessions outlined how to file unemployment, how to get on the computer systems at the SC Work systems, services available for them, such as career counseling, which would include resume writing, interviewing, and job searches. Also, how to access community resources and career and training services offered through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, also known as WIOA or WIOA. At these sessions, IP employees have also been given the opportunities to sign up for workshops being held next Thursday and Friday on site to assist them with resumes, interview preparation, and mock interviewing. These workshops are designed to prepare these employees for 2 upcoming job fairs, for which will be held on November 21st and 22nd at Howard Gymnasium. To date, we have over 50 employers who have signed up to participate in these job fairs. We are absolutely overwhelmed by the response, as numerous businesses and industries from across the state have reached out to let us know that they have job openings and would like to hire these IP Georgetown workers. So following these initial events, support will continue through SC Works partners, both on-site and at IP, and also at the SC Work centers in Georgetown. This support includes, again, filing for unemployment, job search tools, workshops, career coaching, and access to retraining programs through WIOA and apprenticeships. These services are available to IP employees, IP contract employees, and those who have been laid off or experienced a reduction in hours due to the closure of IP Georgetown. Services are also available to any spouse who did not work but may need to enter the workforce due to their spouse losing their job. Waccamaw Regional and the SC Work system are committed to supporting the IP employees, IP contract workers as well, and any other people who may have experienced a job loss due to the mill closure. While we are in the initial rapid response phase right now, we want you to know that these events are not the end. They are just the beginning of the response that will be required over the coming year as these workers seek new careers. SC Works will continue to host hiring events and offer other services as long as necessary to ensure that every single impacted worker transitions successfully to new employment. To learn more about and to access available resources, we encourage anybody interested to go to waccamawworks.org or by visiting your local SC Works office.
Thank you, Isla. Next up is Carol Giroux, Mayor of the City of Georgetown.
Good afternoon. I stand before you today with a heavy heart, knowing the impact that the news of International Paper closing has had on each and every one of you, and the loss of income for IP contractors as well as local businesses. I want to assure you that this group is already at work, both locally and throughout the state, to create pathways for displaced workers. International Paper has played a large role in our city and county by providing jobs, supporting local charities, and contributing economically for more than 80 years. Be assured that the city is here to do what we can do to help those affected. We will stay actively involved to help this coalition of leadership in the upcoming weeks and months ahead. This is a time for us to come together. We are a city of hardworking, resilient people, and we will get through this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Giroux. Next up is Bruce Bailey, President and CEO at Tidelands Health.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. And thanks to everyone behind me for all that they're doing, especially County Council for stepping in so quickly after the announcement to get us all organized around what we can all do to help the families and the folks impacted by this closure. It's interesting to hear the chairman talk about IP being around for 85, 90 years. Tidelands Health, Georgetown Memorial Hospital has been around for 75 now, so there's a a special kinship and connection there between the two of us, I think being a couple of the oldest organizations in the area. So with that, what we're doing at Tidelands Health is really just leveraging our commitment over the years to see to the health and wellness of the community we serve. And so our community is challenged right now, but as the chairman said, we will get through this, and Tidelands Health is here to try to help make sure that happens. And so we are plugging ourselves into all of the workforce initiatives that have been described. We've got a couple hundred positions open right now, so we hope we can map out a path for some of the folks at IEP to find a way to come work for us if that works for them, right? That may not, and that's fine, but we will be here to help them find something that replaces their income, create some stability for their family. We've reached out to our own employees. We have employees who have spouses working at IP, so we're trying to help them get through this now, and we'll be holding a benefit fair soon for the families who may have been impacted to make sure that they can take advantage of what we have to offer at Tidelands Health. The other thing that we're doing is we have already convened our Community Health Resources Group and what we call our Tidelands Community Care Network. That's us, all the social and welfare and health agencies in the region come together periodically to talk about what we can do together and do it better for our community. So everybody is stepping into that right now. We've already had meetings with Smith Medical Clinic, the free clinic up in Pawleys Island and Georgetown, St. James Santee, to make sure that those impacted by this, that their access to care, access to their doctor, access to needed medical services is not impacted by this. So we will be working hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. Conversations around food deserts, food insecurity, making sure that all the social network is available and ready to do what we must, do what we can to help these folks get through this trying time. So again, thank you all for being here, and thanks to everyone who's been part of this coalition. It's really been a quick reaction and a very effective one thus far. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Next up, I'd like to introduce Dr. Bethany Giles, Georgetown County School District Superintendent.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity to speak before you. I stand, much as the team that stands behind me, in support of those that have been impacted by the closing of IP. Certainly, IP has been a huge part not only to our community, but specifically to Georgetown County School District. It has sponsored several events, initiatives, as well as programs for our students and our staff members. So we do give our heartfelt sympathy and condolences to those who are impacted, but we also extend a hand as employment is available with Georgetown County School District, and we will be a part of the job fairs that are coming forth. We're also assessing the impact on our current workforce, teaching and non-teaching staff members, and we want to support them as they go through this time. And another group that hasn't really been mentioned, but I stand before you to represent our students, because our students are impacted by this as their parents or their extended family members are impacted as well. So we stand as a team and support, as well as a resource for those who are in need. And we want you to know that on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our extended Georgetown County School District family, we are here for our community, and we're here for those affected directly as well as indirectly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Giles. Next up is Ashley Nelson, Senior Director at the Francis P. Bunnell Foundation.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Francis P. Bunnell Foundation, I would like to thank International Paper for being a partner in our community for almost 90 years. Personally, International Paper has supported the Bunnell Foundation through our Pathways to Possibilities Career Expo as an exhibitor as well as a financial partner, and for that, the foundation is grateful. We are aware that many of our grantee partners have received grants from the IP Foundation over the years, and as a result, many of them will feel the financial impact of the mill's closing as well. We will be in communication with our grantees to discuss other ways that we may be able to fill the financial void for their organization. In addition, the Bunnell Foundation will work with our local nonprofits to provide pertinent information and resources that may benefit IP families and employees. Several of our nonprofit partners are committed to being present at the upcoming job fair on November 21st and 22nd, where they will share resources. We want to thank International Paper again for all that they have done for our community.
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Our final speaker is Beth Stedman, President and CEO at the Georgetown County Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank all of you for being here today. The Chamber is certainly been blessed by International Paper over the years and all that they've brought to Georgetown County. And we are certainly saddened to see us lose this important industry. One of the other things that we're concerned about at the Chamber is the challenges that this presents to our small business community. So as the Chamber of Commerce, we understand that these small businesses play a critical role in our economy, and they are in fact the heartbeat of our community. So currently, we're actively engaging with our members and other small businesses around the area to understand the specific challenges that they are addressing and trying to work to provide tailored support. So it's critical that we come together as a community. And I think this is just emblematic of just the tip of the iceberg of people who are concerned and who want to help and want to help support through all of these challenges ahead. So whether it's business, government, nonprofits, or residents, we're coming together to help the IP employees, as well as the small businesses adapt, recover, and continue to serve our area's needs. So currently, we're asking the area businesses that are impacted by the upcoming closure to let us hear from you. We need to know more about your needs and what we can do to support you. So we're currently conducting a survey, and we ask that you please complete this and participate in it so that we can better assess the needs of the small business community. You can find a link to the survey at visitgeorge.com. While working to address the immediate needs, we're also looking toward the future. Through strategic partnerships, we aim to equip local entrepreneurs with the tools they need to transition and adapt. We look forward to exploring new ways to collaborate and new opportunities for economic growth in our area. Together, we can support one another and work towards continued renewal.
Thank you, Beth. With that, we will open the floor to questions from the media. Please keep in mind, it has been 1 week since this announcement. There may be things that we don't have all worked out yet. We may not have all the answers yet, but we will do our very best to answer your questions. We do have some officials up here who did not speak, but may be able to field some questions. If your question is directed to a particular agency or individual, please indicate that as you ask your question. Any questions?
I read about some possible business ventures maybe coming into Georgetown. One in particular, maybe a solar plant, and then also the Liberty Steel has been, are there any plans to get that back up?
Mayor Giroux, Angela, Maya, who would love to field that? The administrator says. Go ahead.
At this point, we do not have any information for a new opening for Liberty Steel. And the other businesses are the county businesses, and I'm not privy to all that information, so I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Angela.
Thanks. Yes, there are some solar farms that are currently looking at doing business in Georgetown County. One has already been approved. They're in the construction, well, the beginning of the construction of that particular process. I know that they are looking for skilled labor. They certainly are interested in these folks that's going to be injected into the workforce, and hopefully that'll be a great pathway for some folks forward.
With the jobs that were lost, how easily would those skills kind of translate into some of these other businesses? Or are you looking at some type of kind of work training programs? You may have mentioned it, I just didn't hear it.
Yes, I think the folks with South Carolina Works are working with various folks individually for pathways to other jobs. Certainly, some of these skills are transferable, and that's what we are going to be working with them for. So they're ready when folks are talking to them about alternative positions. Thank you.
We've got a lot of industrial parks, and we've got the Penny Royal industrial area that nothing's happened with yet. Is there anything coming to those industrial parks or anything that can offer hope to any of these workers?
I'm not at liberty to say yet, but there's certainly a lot of interest in development in this community. So we are very hopeful.
How does the county economic development director right now, is that hurting the efforts to try to recruit?
Quite frankly, no. There are several consultants that we are working with that are highly specialized, particularly for what's happening in Georgetown County. So that is not impeding our progress forward.
I was going to ask Mr. Bailey, that he said he's got 200 jobs at the Highlands Hill. Can you kind of give an idea what types of jobs, so somebody might say, oh, I can do that?
Well, there are all types of jobs, from plant engineering, maintenance workers, couriers, nurses. So what we're doing is working with SC Works and the group behind and with IP to work on a crosswalk of what jobs they have, what roles they have that fit best with what we might have. And then also with Horry Georgetown Tech and others, what training and education would be required to take the skills they do have and train them up to maybe fill roles with us. It's not going to be every role that we have that you're going to have great alignment, but we're willing to work and do what we can to find a path for anybody interested in do a job at Tidelands Health, as long as we can, find that path and get the training to them that they need.
And how can a business be a part of the job?
But before we take the next question, I do just want to note that I know people get very frustrated with all the secrecy that goes around the economic development discussions and the project names and things like that. There are very good reasons for that. We're not just being difficult, Maya can address that later if you'd like, but we just can't talk about those things, and they do tend to take quite a long time. We did make some announcements, I think it was this spring, about new industries in the Andrews Industrial Park, and my understanding is that a number of those are coming online now and are also ready to offer some positions. Maya, would you like to address the job fair?
How people can be a business that can be a part of it if they want to be.
So as far as, I'm sorry. So I'm Maya Moran with Georgetown County Economic Development Department. I'm the marketing director. And as far as industrial needs, we do have, all of our industries are interested in the job fair. They will be there, including the ones that are coming online. We have 4 industries coming to our Andrews Industrial Park, and all 4 of them will be included in the job fair that's happening on November 21st and the 22nd. And as far as business needs, I'm sure Isla can talk about that as far as them coming to the job fair. And the deadline is, November 15th.
So any employer who's interested in participating in the job fair can reach out to R. Gaskins, Rusty Gaskins, rgaskins@wrcog.org. We are taking any employers who are willing to come in and have comparable or, jobs that are going to help these IP workers. We definitely are taking anybody and everybody who'll come. So again, any employer who's interested, please contact Rusty Gaskins, rgaskins@wrcog. There's a registration form. And also, it's been circulating the form through, I know the chamber has shared it, and other agencies have been sharing it as well, so.
And we can certainly send out copies of that registration form to the media if you guys would like it. We can do that after this is over. Did you have a remark you wanted to make? I saw you take a step. No. Okay. Other questions?
anytime, I guess, a plant's been here for 87 years, there are probably a lot of workers, that's kind of all they know, work there for a long period of time. How do you kind of deal with the psychology of that? That's got to be devastating to someone who's only known one thing for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. What are some of the resources as far as that's concerned?
I know that that is one of the things that SC Works is working with people on this week, kind of some retraining, helping people get resumes in place. They may have not had to search for a job for decades. Isla, would you like to speak more about that? Sarah? Sarah Smith, the Executive Director of Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments.
Yes, as our Workforce Development Department at Waccamaw Regional has been working with the collective system known as SC Works, which is made up of a number of partners, including the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, Unemployment Insurance Division, their retraining division, and other partners such as the school district, adult ed. You're going to have workers that are at all different kinds of, might have been employed in the mill for 40 years, might have been employed 2 years. Each of those probably will take a different path back to reemployment. As some have mentioned, some skills are easily transferable. So if they went from one paper mill to another paper mill, easily transferable. Some others, like the hospital, not so easy, but there are programs out there to not only work with workers on the front end with talking about career scoping, what their interests are, what they want to do, for the rest of their career. So identifying their skill sets and then also their interests, and taking those and transferring that into opportunities like on-the-job training. So for instance, there are programs and funding available through the SC Works centers that will allow an employer to hire an employee and wages are supplemented. It allows that employee to try out the new job, see if they like it, and at the same time, the employer can do on-the-job training for that employee. And so those types of programs, it might be that somebody thinks they want to be a nurse or they want to work in healthcare and they do an on-the-job training there and they say, that is not for me. That's great because they ruled that out, and then we'll reassess and see what they want to do. So typically with the on-the-job training opportunities that we have, the employers hire them and say, I want to keep them forever. They're a great employee and the employee is happy, but sometimes it's not a fit. So I think it depends on the worker, how long they've been there, what they're doing. But I think that's the beauty of all the different partners of the SC Work system is designed to meet people where they are. For instance, if there is somebody who does not have a high school diploma, there are resources available and we can connect them with those resources if they want to complete that and get their GED. And then if they want a welding certification, there are resources out there to reskill them if they need a welding certification. Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. Other questions? She was behind you, I'm sorry. Mayor Jarrell?
We have a meeting scheduled shortly within the next 10 days to discuss that with International Paper Company officials.
Mr. Harper?
Okay, I was going to ask Ms. Ashley, because the Bunnell Foundation has a connection with almost every nonprofit in the county, basically. Do you have, it might be too early to know this, but a ballpark figure how much International Paper donates to nonprofits each year?
I do not have the number. They gave us a list of nonprofits that they've served over the recent years. It's about 40 nonprofits that were on the list, some being schools and school groups and nonprofits that are grantees of the foundation, but I do not have a dollar amount.
Do you think you'll have that at some point?
I do plan to reach out to IP so we can get a dollar amount. Hopefully they'll be able to disclose that information. I have had some conversations with some of our grantees about the money that they've received from IP. Some of it ranges from $5,000 to about $10,000 a year.
Okay, we can take one or two more questions. Anybody else?
Forgive me, because having a little hard time with the echo, so.
I'm sorry.
Address, but, as far as the businesses, it's kind of, for lack of a better term, supported by the plant, whether you're talking about restaurants, I've read about one restaurant that in particular would give takeout meals and things of that nature. Kind of these periphery businesses that were kind of, if not supported, certainly helped by the plant being here. Has there been any kind of look into what the impact will be on these other businesses and what's being done to kind of make sure of those businesses if they have issues suddenly because they have a customer base that's not there or not as big anymore?
I believe discussions about that are still in the early stages, and we are waiting on a list of all the contractors and businesses who will be impacted by this. Is that still correct? Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to that, Sarah, maybe, or Angela?
Thank you. We are reaching out to as many of the businesses as we can. We will be getting the list of contractors from IP so that we can reach them directly as well. We've also contacted the Department of Commerce and have asked them to help us figure out what the economic impact will be. So we have lots of feelers out there. Again, it's still early and we're waiting on those numbers to come in.
Are there any other questions? All right, thank you all for coming. Every agency up here is impacted by this closure. It is going to be a big thing for us to tackle. It's not going to be done quickly, but everybody here is one team. We're all on one page, and we are giving everything toward trying to get this worked out and settled as we move forward into the new year. Thank you.